Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me. Hope everybody is having a good Friday. It is stormy and rainy here, so I'm enjoying it, but my daughter's not too happy because they're trying to build their house and can't build a house in rainy weather. But I wanted to tell you that tomorrow we will have a special guest on our live show. Yes, live tomorrow. So everybody tune in. I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's a mystery guest, but it's somebody that a lot of you have been wanting to see. So make sure you tune in for tomorrow's live. We're going to try to do it. I haven't set a time yet. So just watch my YouTube channel. I'll post the time that we'll go live tomorrow. Probably going to be around lunchtime, something like that, but just watch for the post. Now today we're going to make another Christmas card, and I know a lot of you purchased this punch the other day after we did our video on this, so we're going to show you another way that you can use this punch to make a really pretty card. And then next week we'll move on to some other things. I know a lot of you had suggestions about mini albums and boxes and different things, so next week we'll move on to something else besides cards. But I wanted to show all of you who had this punch and who bought this punch because of our suggestion another way that you can use it. And this punch is still available. I found it and I'll put a link below if you want to purchase one of these. Lots of different ways you can use this. So I have taken just a scrap piece of paper and I used this waffle flower die, and let me see if I can find the name of it. It's Lacy Layers, and it is a 5x7. Has lots of different dies in here. See if I can pull them all out here. There's lots and lots of different dies. And so we used, let's see, I used these two to cut out. I cut this out just out of a scrap piece of paper, and then I cut this out with this just by placing it on there and cutting it like that. So this is going to be our frame actually, or our window, and then this will be just something that we're going to play around with, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Like I said, this is a scrap piece of paper. As you can see, it even has a score line in the center, but we're not going to worry about that because we're going to cover it. I'll cover part of it anyway. We're going to use our score tape again, and then what I'm going to do is take a pencil, and I'm just going to, in general, start about right there, and I'm just going to kind of draw out a Christmas tree. Not perfect, but what have I always said? You don't have to be perfect. In crafting, there is no perfect. So we're going to kind of draw out a Christmas tree, just to outline, just so we'll know where to put our tape. Alright, that's good enough. And then we're going to take our tape and we're going to put it down kind of in that general area. Make a Christmas tree outline with our tape. Alright. Make sure that you put down a good amount of tape because you'll want to go back and fill in your Christmas tree and that kind of thing. So I always just go back and put it right beside that one and just keep going that way. Now that we have our tape kind of in the form of a Christmas tree, then we're going to go ahead and take the backing off of this. Now that you have all of that backing off of it, as you can see right here, we've punched just a lot of the little branches, and we punched them in two different colors of green. We have a light green and then a darker green, and we're just going to fill this in. I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm just going to start laying these down. And don't lay them perfectly straight because, as you know, there is no Christmas tree out there that's perfectly straight unless you buy one that's artificially made. So just kind of lay it some up, some down, some around, just in different ways. Some branches long, some branches short. And just keep going until you fill in the whole tree. And once you get your tree kind of filled in. If you think there's still spaces that you need a little bit more fullness, just go back in with your art glitter glue and put a little bit down here and there where you want that extra fullness, where you want to fill up the gaps. Just put a little dollop down there. And then take your branches, and at this point I usually cut them in two. And then I just press them down in to that art glitter glue with my tool, wherever my tool is. There we go. We just press it down in there. Hold it for a second and it sets. And then just put another one in there. And another one. Just keep doing that until you get it to the thickness that you like. Alright, I think that is pretty good. We have some branches that are just sticking out a tiny bit, and then we have some fullness in different areas. So I think that's good, but we're going to put some bling on there, of course. You know I'm the bling queen, so we've got to put some bling on there. Now, I want a red. That's not really a red, I don't think. Yeah, it is, because that is a Christmas red. So we're going to use these, some of these. This is from one of the last year's collection, and it was called A Very Merry Christmas. It was a beautiful collection. So we're going to put these little things in some different areas, these little pieces of bling. So we have our bling on there. That's going to represent our lights. And now I need something for the top. And I'm not sure. I could put that little thing on the top, but I don't think that's going to show with that background because it's the same color. So let's see what else we have in our book of tricks over here. This is some just odd bling and things that I have collected over the years. That's pretty, but I don't know. I can probably color that. So what do you think about that? Yes, no, maybe. Is it too big? I think it might be a little bit too big. But I don't know if I'm going to have anything any smaller. See, when I do a live, you guys will be able to answer me when I say, what do you think, won't you? That'll be fun. I don't think I'm going to have anything any smaller. So I think I might go with that and just color it. We'll see what it looks like once we color it. So we're going to use our Copic marker. And it's just in, oh, this is lipstick red. And we're just going to color over this. I could have cut it out a star, I guess, but I didn't think about it beforehand. This is another one of those projects that I'm doing on the fly. So just color over that and then lay it down there and let's see what it looks like. What does that look like? Let me look in the camera and see if I can see. Oh, I think that's okay. And then what we can do is, once it dries just a little bit, I'll take my red glitter pen and I'll put over top of that so that it will have a little bit of shine to it. But see, that's not bad, is it? So we're going to go with this. And I'm going to use two different things to put this down with. I'm going to use some art glitter glue on the bottom of that. And I'm also going to use some sticky dots, and that'll kind of help it grab right away, I think. Maybe not. Let's put the sticky dots down here. We'll set that off to the side and let it start drying, and then we'll see if we need to add hot glue, and we'll work on our frame. Now we want to make this pop up, so we're going to take some foam tape and go around this frame. and put probably a couple of layers on here. And I just took my foam tape and cut it in half. So that it would not stick out on both sides. And if you don't want your foam tape showing on the side right here, you can take a marker and go in there and just color it up. It doesn't bother me, but some people don't want it to show, so I understand that. Now we're going to do this one a little bit different than we have a lot of the other cards in the past. This is a piece of acetate. If I can get the film off of it. This is a piece that we sell in the shop, and I will put a link to these below as well. This is the thicker acetate. It's not just the normal thin. This is a little bit thicker. It's easier to stamp on, that kind of thing. So we're going to take this acetate, and I'm going to take this stamp. It's from Bo Bunny. It's last year's collection, and it's just called Holiday Icons. And I will try to find that. If I do, I'll link it below. And I'm going to take this little present right here. I only have Stays On ink in black and brown, and I didn't want to do brown. So we're going to do black for these presents. But if you have a colored Stays On, that would be a lot better to do, like some red and green, that kind of thing. I just didn't think about it, and I didn't order any. So we're going to take the little present, put it on our 1x1 inch block. Now you have to use Stays On this. Other type inks will not stay. And I'm going to take this black mat off now, and I'm just going to use this so that you can see a little bit better. But other inks won't stay on here. They'll rub right off. Stays On will dry and it will stay. We're just going to stamp these little presents at the bottom. This will be our window. Oops. So we're going to stamp some kind of light, some kind of dark, some kind of in front, behind. Whoops, that one turned out really, really bad. So let's go ahead before that dries, and we'll just wipe that off. Now I will tell you, on the Stays On ink, this little top that comes on there, that little plastic top, make sure you keep that on there. Don't glue it to the top of this or take it off and throw it away. That keeps your Stays On ink really moist, and that's what you need. So make sure you leave that on there. If you're wanting to wipe this Stays On ink off of your stamps or your ink block or even your acetate when you mess up, the best thing to use is this Bruce Monroe stamp cleaner. I love this stuff. I will link it below as well. I think I still have some of that. If not, we will get more ordered. But that stuff is fantastic. I cleaned this off a couple of times because I made mistakes, and it works great. And then also where you have fingerprints and that kind of thing, just take a baby wipe and spritz just a tiny bit of this on there, not even a full spritz, and then just go across it and clean them off. Clean your fingerprints and all that kind of thing off of there. And then just let this dry. I'm impatient, so I use a towel, but let it dry, and then your acetate will be nice and clean. See, it will be nice and clean. Okay, we're going to set these aside and let them dry, because these will take just a few minutes to dry on there. So while everything else is drying, this is dried well, we're going to take our clear Wink of Stella, and I'm going to just touch this and go over it, because I don't want to re-wet it. Since it's not like set in stone, I'm just going to touch it to it and go over that just to give it some glitter. And we may come back with some stickles and touch on that too. Then I am going to take my stickles, because you know me, I like my stickles. going to take the stickles and I'm going to go over these branches just a little bit because I want them to glitter, glisten and glitter. Ooh, I'm about out. I have to grab another bottle before you guys buy it all. No, buy it if you want to. I've got plenty more coming, believe me. Try not to run out of this stuff. This is the diamond stickles. Just about all I use. I love it. So there we go. See the little glistening in there? That's what we want. And I'm trying to decide if I'm probably going to need a little bit of a stem down there, a little bit of a base, because part of that's going to show. And I'm just going to use a little scrap piece of brown, if I have one here, on my desk somewhere. Not sure. Yes, I do. Just a little scrap piece, and we're just going to cut out a little stump. And we're going to put that down there at the bottom, right there. Yeah, that'll work. And you see, I just hand cut that. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Don't be perfect. Believe me, it's took me a lot of years to let it go. I am an accountant by trade, so everything had to be perfect and precise and to the penny. So it has taken me a lot of years to get rid of all of that perfection type stuff. But I'm slowly getting there. I still have my issues from time to time. Alright, I'm going to pull these out just a little bit. Because when I look up in the camera, this side looks a little bit out of whack right there. Right there. So we'll pull these out that way. And we'll push these in just a little. I think I might have needed another one right there. So now let's see if our presents are dry enough. I don't know if they're going to be or not. I think they are. I think they're dry. Now I did have a thought, and we're going to see if this works. I'm not sure it's going to. But these are alcohol markers, so they should dry just fine on here without upsetting that Memento ink. So we're going to try to color these in just a little. We will see if it works. So if you have any type alcohol markers, you should be able to use them. I could have used these for stamping, and I didn't even think about it. I think these are dry enough, so what we're going to do, now this is just one layer of that foam tape, so lay that out of the way. We're going to put this acetate sheet right down on that. Let me see if I got a dimension here. No, I don't think I have an up or a down side on that. So we're just going to put these down on top of that. Just like that, sticking it to it all the way around. Then we're going to go back and we're going to put some more of this on top of that. So we got to have some dimension in there because of our tree and the different layers that we have. So before we put this on there, what we're going to do is put a few of these little stars in there. And this is our Nouveau Desert Sunset Stars. And they just kind of take on the color that's around them. And this is one of our Nouveau spoons. We have those back in stock. I don't want a ton, but I want a good amount at the bottom just to kind of show through those little presents there. Alright, now we're going to take the backing off of this and then put this down. And now you're going to take this, let's see if we can get this pretty straight. And this should just lay right down on top of there, and hopefully I'm not going to get my head in the shot, but I'm going to have to kind of get up over it. Let's see what we got here. Well, it looks pretty straight. So see all the little stars in behind your presents? Isn't that cute? And now you're ready to put this down on your card. So we're just going to, I'm going to go ahead and run some score tape on the back of that, if I can find my score tape. So there you are, your card. Now we can always go ahead and stamp a sentiment and put it on here if we want to. We may put it right up there. And I'm thinking I'm going to use some of the same cardstock that I used for that background, just so it'll kind of match. Alright, I really don't like that on the outside because it just kind of takes away from my tree. So what I'm going to do is just slip on the inside and put that right there. Or I may just stamp it in there. Let's just stamp it in there in the center, and then we won't have to worry about the different colors. So let's just stamp it right there, and then we'll still be able to write underneath, above, that kind of thing. There we go. So we've got our sentiment in there, our tree on the outside, and it is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for today. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget that we will have a special guest on our show tomorrow, and I will post, before it goes live, I will put a little video up letting you know that we're about to go live at what time. I have to find out from her what time she can be here. And don't forget to watch. We're going to have fun. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.